Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Being Podcast. I am your girl Jada, here to host another episode for you. And if you're new, welcome. I want you to know, as well as from old folks who have been following me for a while, appreciate you, that this is a safe space that I have created for us to be able to come to discuss, to think about, and to possibly tweak, if needed, how we believe, engage, innovate, navigate, and gain in every area of our lives. So with that, know that if you have anything that you want to hear about, to discuss, for me to possibly find someone who has been through that, because that is what this is about. Bringing my experiences as well as people that I know that have been through things so that we can share, because of course I am a firm believer that we do more together than we do, separate. And the other thing is, like, when we are vulnerable and we're able to share what we've been through, I think that allows for space for everybody else to feel comfortable and, of course, to feel safe in sharing and, dealing with things. Because if you're like me, sometimes it's easier to just sweep it under the rug, keep it moving instead of dealing with it. But as I get older, I'm about, let's get to the root cause. Let's make it better. We only have one life to live, so why not make it the best? So with that, this week's episode is me sharing something that happened to me last week. So this is really about getting to filling our cups, for taking and making the time to do those things that pour back into us so that we can continue to do the work that we desire to do, that we've been called or purposed to do, and able to do that more in ease, right? Because there's one thing in doing what needs to be done, whether you have a wonderful career, whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you are an amazing stay-at-home mom. That is not my gift, even though I have my 3 amazing little people that I love dearly. But no matter what it is that you do, what you've been called to do, I believe that there has to be, or there should be, ease in doing those things, right? Because one will show up more in our authentic way, our authentic self, I should say. We will be able to do it where it's not a struggle, where we are just really having to push to get through it, but it's more from a place of enjoyment almost, right? But in order for us to do that, I believe, and to get there, to be in that space, we have to take care of ourselves. And as you know, if you've been listening, and if you haven't, go back and check out some of the episodes. I am really big this season on who are we at our core? Do we have our voice to communicate that? Are we doing the things to surround ourselves with, our village, or ensuring that we are tapping into the resources to allow us to get to where we want to go and to get there quicker, right? Because I am also really big on, let me share what I've been through so that if someone else has that same desire, maybe they don't have to go through the pitfalls that I had to go through, right? Let's get on with it so we can help whoever we need to help. But this episode is all about making the time for us to enjoy ourselves, because we deserve that too. We, as in busy women, whether that's your job, whether that's you as a wife or a spouse or a mom, like all of the titles that I'm always throwing out there, but I'm also big on, what are we doing for us? What are we doing for self-care and self-love, and knowing that it's not selfish? Doing those things without feeling guilty, right? Because it took me a while to get to this place. And as you will hear in this episode, I'm still working on that, because I want to be so fully well-rounded that I can be present fully no matter what is being asked of me, right? Whether it's my 9 to 5, or my husband's like, we need some time, or my babies are like, I don't care that your knees hurt. I need for you to go outside and help me ride my bike. But I want to be present in those moments. But more importantly, I want to do that from a place of Jada is fulfilled. Because if I am living in my true authentic self, then me pouring into whoever needs me is going to come easier because I know that I'm good. I know that, even if I'm how should I say this? Even if I am being asked to do something I don't want to do, even if I have to mentally go in my mind and be like, "Hey girl, remember when you got that massage? Oh, that was nice." Right? Like whatever mental break I need to help me to get through it, then that's what I need to do. So, last week was absolutely amazing. The work week went crazy fast and I felt productive because I really set the intention on some big things that I wanted to get done. And then, if you've been watching my videos, you'll see that I've gone and decided to change up my hair a little bit, right? I've been thinking about it and I pulled that trigger. I was also able to have a weekend. I'm not even gonna say a weekend, but it was an overnight for me, right? So that's a start. I had an overnight away from my babies, away from the hubby, and I went with my girls. And y'all, I went to the Janet Jackson concert and it was amazing. Now I had never seen her before, and one of my friends that I went with, she's like, "Yeah, I've seen her a couple of times," and so yeah, you can tell it was a little different. But for me, I was living my best life. I think one because I had set that intention that that was something I wanted to do. And I found out about the concert back like in December, and I had started making plans to go. And I was like, man, I thought I was going to actually go and then have to drive back because it was down about an hour and a half away from me. And it actually worked out where I was able to go. And then check this out, me and my friend, she hooked us up and we had a limo service. And so we didn't have to worry about driving down there or driving home. And yeah, I don't drink, but if I would have, it would have been probably the perfect setup for me. But the fact that I was able to just, I felt like I was living in luxury for my first time to do something that was for me, like something big, like this overnight, right? So, because if you know me, you know Jada's gonna go get her massages, Jada's gonna get her back facials. By the way, are y'all hip on back facials? Let me know. I just recently started getting them. It's basically like a facial, but for your back. And even though my husband's like, don't forget you somebody's mama. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not dead yet. So I'm getting all ready for the summertime. So yes, I do make time to go and take care of those things, those maintenance things that make me feel more like me. But this was something that I wanted to do and to share with you because, I like to be transparent and share. I did a vision board back in 21. And the things that I put on the vision board was like for me and my husband, for me as a mom, for me personally, like wanting to eat better, wanting to work out, me spiritually. Like I had all of these things. And another thing I had on there was more mom's night out. And it didn't really happen in 22, which is fine. But my vision board, even though I did it in 21, still remains relevant for 22 and it still remains relevant for 23 thus far. So, saying that, it was something that I put on my bucket list 2 years ago, and this was the first time to really see it coming to fruition a little bit, right? So, I have other friends that they're still so super sweet. They still invite me out places. Usually they do something quarterly, and Jada makes it about to half of those. But they still will invite me, which is wonderful. But this was something that I really wanted to do for me. So I was out there living my best life, up and dancing and just all the things. And I was also able to take a friend with me, and we like it was like a sleepover, right? Because we're at the hotel and we're up talking until we were like, okay, I'm going to sleep. And then we came on back. And I am just living in this moment of doing those things that are going to fulfill us. Doing things daily. I mean, that's important, right? So whether you like to journal, like I keep saying I'm going to journal, and I started after my parents passed, but then I didn't really keep it up. But I do want to get back into that. Or if you meditate, or if you like to work out, like whatever it is that you daily do for yourself, completely like keep doing those things, because those little things give us the momentum. They give us the push to keep going, right? And those little deposits that we're making into our bank of resources or fulfillment. I don't know. I'll come up with a better name. But we're making those deposits daily, and that adds up over time, But now it's like, okay, what else can I do? And not only for other people, but for myself. So, amazing lady out there listening to this, what have you done lately? What have you done, not for me lately, but what have you done for you lately? What have you intentionally said, this is something, a goal I have that I want to do for myself, no matter what that is. I've come across women who, even in 23, they will travel by themselves. I have a good friend who does trips, and I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm that brave to do that right now. I don't even know if I could do that now with, an extended period of time. But whatever that looks like for you, like, don't feel that you have to be stuck in a box. Don't feel like life has to dictate to you what your dreams, should be, the goals that you have that you want to get after. So maybe it's something you look at. So would I go out every weekend? No. Would I even go out every month? Probably not. But is this something that, if something big comes up and I'm like, heck yeah, I'm going to figure it out. My babies are taken care of. My husband is good to go. I am going to take this time for me. Absolutely. And I am just challenging you to do the same. And for me, this has all just come about from, again, knowing who I am, and not only who I am now, but who I want to be. And as I've been told before, like, start living that now. Like, live who you want to be now. Start doing those things now. So I do want to travel more. I do want to be with my girlfriends more. I do want to have trips with my babies. Like, there are things in my whole family, and like just for me and my husband. So I now, because I'm like, okay, girl, you figured it out. You had your sitter. She was with the babies. They were good to go. They had a great time, while my husband is out doing his passion project, and it worked out. And so now I'm like, okay, as I always say, we make time for who and what we want. So if there's a will, there's a way. So what have you been putting on the back burner that you're not getting to because you don't have someone to watch the kids, or you don't have the money, or whatever the resource you feel you're lacking, and using that as the scapegoat to not get after the thing that is going to replenish you, refill you, invigorate you to be the best version of yourself. I mean, even when I came home, y'all, my babies were like, Mommy, was it fun? And I had been watching, different videos on YouTube. And so I was like, yeah, this is, Michael Jackson's baby sister. And so my big girl was like, well, did they have a song together? So I started playing videos. So it was really nice to come back and be able to share that with her. And she was just like, Mommy, was it fun? Did you enjoy it? And it was. And I just need for them also to see that, yes, mommy has your back. Mommy is here for you day in and day out, and I got you. But mommy is still a person too, and mommy still has desires and dreams and goals. And I'll tell them, y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you, like I'm honest with them. Mommy needs a break, because if mommy doesn't get a break, mommy is going to break, and no one needs that. So I need them also to understand that, right? Because as I am pouring into them, helping them to grow, helping them to see these things, and knowing that as long as they're safe, they're sound, they're safe, they're good, that it's okay for mommy to not have to be here all the time. And so if you, switching gears just a little bit, if you or if you're challenged by that, I will say, right? If you're challenged with if I don't do it, whatever it is, it's not going to get done. If that is you, and you are putting your life on hold because you have the mindset that I have to be the one that puts my hand on it, I am challenging you to take a step back from that. I am challenging you to, one, look at yourself and know that you deserve to still have a life for you, in conjunction with all the other titles that you wear. Like, just because we get married, just because we have kids, just because we choose to have a career, just because we choose to start a business, just because we choose to be out in the community, because we've made these decisions and these commitments and we have these responsibilities, it does not negate who we are as a human being, as that person that had all those dreams and goals and achieve those. We don't lose who that is. And so if that is you feeling like, okay, if I don't do it, then it's going to fall apart, I really do challenge you to just stop and take a beat, take a breath, as I like to say, and really sit down and like maybe even outline it. Like, okay, let me list out all of the things that I have to do. Okay, out of these 10 things, what could I delegate? Okay, what are the things I definitely have to do? And really look at that and start seeing, okay, if I have the resources to outsource this, how would that make my life? I don't want to say better. How would that change my life? How would that outlook, look to you? What does that feel like to you? If you had someone, for example, true story, because I'm coming to y'all like as my life is happening. I have looked at it and I'm like, you know what? I have no problem getting up in the mornings, getting the babies ready to go, getting them to school, getting them dropped off. Like I have found a way to make all that work. But my struggle is in the evenings where it's like, okay, I have to get out of here by 4:50, probably at the latest, because all of them have to be picked up by 5:30. And the twins are at a different, they're at daycare, different from where big sister goes to school. So I have to go to two different locations. Well, all of that in totality, especially in the evenings with the traffic, that could take like a good hour of my night. So when I'm sitting up here saying, okay, let me get off of work, let me rush and go get them, then it's like, crap, what are we going to eat? I'm not cooking, right? Not that I'm a big cook. Y'all that follow me know that too. So I'm not getting it twisted. It ain't like I'm going to be in here making gourmet dinners. But the fact of the matter is, at this point in time, we're doing a lot of fast food. Does that set well with my soul? I mean, not really. Am I like they're being fed and okay, they're still alive? Yes. Okay. So we're managing, right? But how could that be better? So I am saying to myself, and I started taking the steps to say, if I get someone who can help me out Monday through Friday from this time to this time to help me with my babies, getting them picked up, getting them home, helping to get settled for the night, what would that look like for me? And I have come to realize that that would allow me time to, do the prep, have a meal. When they get home, they're able to eat. Then we're getting in the bath and then we're getting ready for bed, right? That could allow for that. That could look like, okay, let me take that hour that I would be driving. And now that I'm done with my 9 to 5, how can I pour that into my business that I am, building right now? That would give me an extra hour of time. Or it could be, hey, I need to work out and my day was slammed. And although I would like to do my hour workout during the day, it didn't work out that way. Maybe I do that in the evening before they get home. Like it just opens up possibilities for me to really be able to utilize an extra hour instead of being in the car. So I have started taking the steps and then I communicated it to my husband and he's like, okay, babe. All right. Right. So I kind of went with the 80% solution. Like, this is what I'm doing. This is what I've already started to do. This is where it's going. This is why, and got his buy-in with it. And so now we're moving forward so that we can interview some people and get that help because I know that I need that. So that's just an example. Like, I'm not going to feel guilty for not picking them up. I mean, I'm going to have them in the morning. Hey, kiss you, love you. Have a great day. Do my job, do what I need to do for me, get them home at night and pour into them then. Right. So that's an example like that I'm real life dealing with. I'll keep y'all posted on how that goes. But what are the things that you could do? Like, what is one change that you could make that could move the needle forward to you getting to that end state that would just really reach your goals and reach what you envision as like a balanced life? What does that look like? I challenge you to think about that over this next week. So I, again, had an amazing time. I poured into myself. I came back feeling super excited. I had to come back and get right back into mommy mode, but it was wonderful. And I just wanted to share that with you all this week because I want to encourage you that we don't have to be stuck in a box, even if we created it, right? Even if it's self inflicted, we don't have to be in that box because we can find the ways to move the needle forward, to have the life that we get to choose, that we get to create, that we get to cultivate and grow and make what we want it to be. We get to choose. So, have an amazing week. I'm about to get out of here. Hit me up. Let me know what is one thing that you would do. How would that look for you? Again, I am a life and success coach. I am working with people to help them to visualize some of these things, to get them from feeling chaotic to feeling balanced, from being, reactive all the time to being proactive and like cultivating and creating those roadmaps and the routines and the systems, because it really does help us to get everybody taken care of, starting with us. So that is my challenge. You will find all the ways to connect with me in the show notes. If you're watching this, hey, if you're listening, hey, have an amazing week. And as always, thank you for spending a part of your day listening to me as I continue to share what has been brought up for me to share with you. All right, y'all, I'll see you next week.